Thank you. Welcome to Cage Talk. I'm Nic Cage. You may have seen me in such instant classics as The Wicker Man, National Treasure, and National Treasure 2. Today we're going to be discussing the Oscar-winning picture Interstellar. This movie asks questions. What could space travel be like in the future? Will the world ever die? Is there life off Earth? The answer to that last question is yes. How could an actor as talented as me possibly be from this Earth? Be warned, this review will contain spoilers. If you're up for that kind of thing, keep watching. But if you're not, well, I'm doing this for a class project, so I'm pretty Anyways, Interstellar follows the journey of Matthew McConaughey, the second-rate Nicolas Cage, as he leaves his family and travels across the universe to find a new Earth for humans, as our world is dying. In the movie, they say that a disease called the Blight is killing off our planet, but most likely the real reason for the apocalypse is that I stopped acting in movies. Pretty scary stuff. He'll need to team up with Anne Hathaway, another second-rate Nicolas Cage, as they go through a wormhole to another galaxy and try to find which planet will be right for humans. They'll encounter such problems as time slippage and a shortage of fuel. The movie's shocking conclusion has Mr. McConaughey fall into a black hole and somehow he doesn't die. That's because the humans from the future built a construct to give Matt the information on how to lift colonies of humans off Earth. Go see the movie because I probably can't explain it very well. It's Christopher Nolan, for God's sake. Overall, the movie has a great plot, amazing visuals, and a nice moral, but unfortunately doesn't have Nicolas Cage in it. So I rate this movie a 0 out of 10. But today we're not here to talk about the movie itself. We're here to talk about this book.
Sorry, that's the wrong book.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I meant this book. Science of Interstellar by Kip Thorne. This movie may seem like science fiction, but did you know that it's completely backed up by science? That's right, folks, and today we'll get the pleasure of interviewing the book's author, this man right here. I know what you're thinking. Why does that guy look like Colonel Sanders' great-grandfather? This, along with many other scientific questions, will be answered right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of The Science of Interstellar, Kip Thorne. Alright, stop that. He doesn't deserve as much applause as me. Hello, Kip. Thanks for coming down.
Oh, thanks for having me, Nick. It's great to meet you.
Yes, it is. Why are you dressed like a chef in his pajamas?
Because I can do whatever the heck I want. Because the movie made a lot of money.
I know how that feels.
What, to make a lot of money?
No, to do whatever the heck I want. I accept every movie job I take. So anyways, I heard you worked directly with Christopher Nolan, the director of this movie, to make the movie scientifically accurate.
That's true, Nick. The movie actually began production in 2006 with Steven Spielberg as the director. We've come a long way.
Seems like it. Why do you look like Colonel Sanders' older grandfather?
I'm sorry? I look like Colonel Sanders' great-grandfather because I was born this way?
Sure, well, slow down there, Lady Gaga. That's enough of that. Let's get to the science. First of all, wormholes. What the heck's up with that?
Well, think of space as a membrane or brain, as I like to call it. There are multiple membranes, but all exist in a higher dimensional hyperspace, or the bulk, and this bulk is not part of our universe. This is why when people use the example of bending paper, like this, when talking about wormholes. The wormhole, the space that the paper bends into is the bulk. And just like they say in the movie, the three-dimensional version of a hole is a sphere. So that's why in the movie, the wormhole is a sphere. Take a look at this drawing from my book that shows you wormholes in a simple picture.
Wow, that looks like a 3-year-old drew it.
Could you do better?
Yes, I could. In fact, while you were talking, I drew this picture. Now, in your book, you say that a wormhole probably can't happen naturally, yes?
That's true. In the film, an ultra-advanced civilization sends it back in time. Though theoretically, it could be possible to send gravity messages back in time, like the wormhole, or when Matthew McConaughey's character uses gravity, not the Sandra Bullock movie, to put in Morse code on a watch to convey information. Now it seems simple. Just bend our brains through the bulk from one place to another. Once we know how to completely harness gravity, we may know how to make wormholes.
Wow. I haven't heard something so interesting since the last time I heard myself talk. Now in the film they go to a galaxy where a black hole named Gargantua is close to most planets. Because of this, when characters go down to Earth, or go down to the planet close to the black hole, 45 minutes on the planet is 7 years on Earth. How is this possible?
Well, you see, Nick, black holes are pretty much giant things of gravity. And time actually moves slower closer to gravity. We've tested this when we put a watch upstairs in a building and downstairs in a building. And the one downstairs moves slower. Though it was only by a few microseconds, it did move slower. This is because as time is a dimension. Since gravity bends space-time, it would take longer to get from point A to point B if you went down the dip, right? So since gravity causes the dip, objects closer to gravity move slower in time, and since the planet is close to the black hole, a giant gravity hole, time moves slower. As a matter of fact, when I was doing the science on the time slip, I told Nolan that 45 minutes to 7 years wasn't practical, but he was very intent on this time, and so I had to make the planet they went to very close to Gargantua. In the end, the science adds up. So we did it.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I was actually looking at this picture of myself. What did you say? Never mind, we don't have time. Now tell me about the spaceship that the characters travel on, the Endurance.
Well, the Endurance is simple and very much within our reach. It's an armored ship completely capable of interstellar travel.
Yes, but the characters don't float around. It's like they defy gravity. And the only person who can do that is me, Nicolas Cage.
Well, you see, the Endurance travels in a circular motion, spinning around constantly. You ever been to the carnivals where they have a ride that spins so fast that you get pinned to the walls? It's the same physics here, except since the ship gives downward gravity. Very simple concept, yes?
I can understand any concept. I'm Nicolas Cage. Now let's get to the final concept in the end of the movie. When McConaughey falls into the black hole, he enters a tesseract, a place showing every moment in time where his daughter's room is. It is here where he uses gravity to send a message back in time. Is this possible?
Well, first thing you need to know about a tesseract is that it's not the thing from the Adventures.
That wasn't funny.
Oh, sorry. I thought you'd seen the Adventures.
I have. I've seen every movie. I'm Nicolas Cage.
Get to the point. Well, anyways, to figure out what the Tesseract is, we need to understand what humans have evolved into. We've evolved into multi-dimensional beings, able to live in the bulk and pass through the brain at will. These people can create tesseracts, which is basically a box inside a box. McConaughey finds it inside the black hole, well, since the future humans placed it there. But when he gets in the tesseract, he sees the past versions of his daughter's bedroom. But how can this happen? It's simply the light rails of each time period. of the room, traveling across space-time. And the reason Matthew's character can send gravity back in time is because gravity is the only thing that can bridge space-time. In the movie, Nolan sets up rules for time travel, and they are nothing but gravity can be sent back in time, and every time travel moment has already happened. Time can't be changed because everything is set. Just like in the movie, we only learn how to harness gravity because the future humans sent the Tesseract back in time. And the reason they could send the Tesseract back in time was because they learned how to do it from the Tesseract that was sent back.
Now that's interesting. Now for the whole movie, the characters are trying to find a singularity inside a black hole, which will help them harness gravity. Care to explain that?
Well, the center of a black hole contains a singularity, a one-dimensional point with infinite mass, infinite gravity, and space-time curves infinitely. As I once said, it's where the laws of physics break down. If a person was to reach a singularity, they would most likely be stretched out like spaghetti. However, if we could harness the power of a singularity and truly understand it, we could do anything.
Well, maybe one day a human will be able to harness a singularity, and that person will be me, Nicolas Cage. Only a couple more questions, Kip. What do you think of the choice to make space silent?
I loved it. Space has nothing to bounce sound off of. So when the Endurance lets go of a shuttle, or when Matt Damon's character blows up, there shouldn't be any sound. In most space movies, there's sound when things happen, so I can't tell you how happy I was they made sound in space accurate.
I never thought I'd hear someone so happy to hear about there not being sound in space. Alright, so now it doesn't have to do with space. Tell us a little bit about the blight that's killing off crops.
Ah, yes, the blight. Blight can be caused by multiple scenarios. The ice caps melting and releasing a pathogen, which is what blight is, from the last ice age. Humans putting algae into the oceans that ends up releasing deadly pathogens, or even ultraviolet light streaming through our ozone hole that mutates algae. But the blight wouldn't just kill plants, it could kill us too. The pathogen of blight would kill plants that produce the air we breathe, and thus giving us another reason to leave Earth.
Well, this has all been very interesting, Kip. Thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome.
Though, one more question. Why in God's name would you not cast me as the lead role in this movie?
Actually, that was Christopher Nolan's decision.
Well, you can tell Christopher Nolan to go f*** himself. That's all the time we have for today, folks. Stay tuned to next week's episode where I explain how I actually set my head on fire with no special effects while I was in Ghost Rider. I'm Nicolas Cage, and thank you for watching.